Just make it work.
Hello, and welcome to my regularly part-working 13-year-old BMW. On a recent outing, it threw the codes in the title. I thought I'd share my efforts to fix it. So first, I disconnected the battery and removed the usual gubbins. So with code 2D06, which means measured value HFM too high. So HFM is the hot film meter, the mass airflow meter, or the MAF as it's more commonly known. I've been chasing this code for a while. I've previously smoked the intake, so I'm fairly confident that situation is okay. As with old cars, things change when it heats up, etc. So there could be a crack somewhere that I've missed, but I think it's alright. With this code in general, it has to happen a certain number of times before it'll throw a check engine light. So it takes a while to reappear, usually till just after you think you fixed it. I recently changed the MAF, which made no difference. I should have done better research before splashing the cash in the hope of a quick fix, but you live and learn. I've read it could be the electrical connection to the MAF itself. So the last time I was in there, I nudged the female connector elements together a bit before I reconnected it. And then looking at the software, the previous long run, it happened 33 times, and after I'd tweaked the connector, it only happened twice on a 150 mile run, so I appear to be barking up the right tree, so to speak. I've tried and failed to find a replacement connector. If anybody knows where you might be able to get them, if anyone knows, then please comment below. So I opened up the existing connector, which was difficult without smashing it to pieces, for me anyway. I mostly got away with it by just pushing the pins out using the brute force and ignorance method. At the time, I thought I was going to get a new connector, so I now may regret the way I did that, but they'll bend back, it'll be alright. The female elements, I don't know the real name for them. They seem tired and have corrosion on them. So I plan to clean them up and push the internal tangs, if that's what they're called, the middle bits together to try and get a better connection when you shove them back on the pins. The main event on my recent outing was 5 episodes of an injector fault, complete with bongs, warning lights, and extremely rough running, which was joyful. I found that if I pulled over, turned it off for a minute, it would reset, and I could carry on for another half an hour, 3/4 of an hour. I managed to get to where I was going and back, but it wasn't a pleasant commute. The one time I tried to do a quick restart while I was still moving, the fault came back again straight away. So it seems to be that if you turn it off, like I say, for a minute and then restart it, it sorts itself out, but it's obviously not a long-term solution. So the two codes both relate to a short circuit of injector 3. In an effort to confirm it was definitely the injector, I made this contraption, which is obviously beautiful, to reach the pins because I couldn't get the probes in well enough. And I measured 200 k ohms on all 4, which was disappointing because I was hoping to see an obvious indication on number 3 so I could put money towards a new one with confidence, but no joy. I tried measuring between either of the pins and the block or the injector casing, but couldn't get a reading on any of them that way, so I didn't get any concrete information, unfortunately. I checked the wiring. There's nothing obvious. The wiring goes straight from the top of the engine over the top and into the DME box, so there was, nothing obviously awry there. The other theory is that the DME, the engine computer, is losing its marbles. but hopefully that's not the case. I have seen one horror video on the YouTubes where the drain has become blocked with leaves and the DME box ends up filling up with water, so I thought I'd better have a look in. So that's all good. It was all clean and dry in there. I then checked the connections for corrosion, and it all looks good. No green fur. There is one wire from the DME to the injector and then one wire back. That's it. So I checked for a short and couldn't find anything. So the fault's intermittent. I'm going to try a new injector on the theory that when the existing one gets to a certain running time or temperature, it's throwing a wobbler. The part number is on your screen now, and you're supposed to fit a new decoupling element, which I think is just the bit that it sits on. So I've ordered one of those too. Also, I've read that the revision known as Index 11 is what you need to get, as earlier versions of the injectors had problems. All four need to match though, so I can see that the first one in the car is Index 11. I can't see well enough to see the part numbers or the index numbers on the rest, so they should all be the same if the previous 6 owners have done alright. I couldn't find a used one, unfortunately, with the right index, so I've had to spring for a new one. Hopefully it will fix it. I'll report back once it's been delivered. If anybody knows any better, then do let me know. Over and out.